Hey everyone, my name is Neil Bakshi and I'm a certified life coach and energy working practitioner. I want to share a concept on happiness with you today. And I'm sure you've heard the quote that happiness is an inside job. But what does that really mean? We go through our lives hearing these words, but not necessarily internalizing these words or understanding how to put that into tangible practice in our daily lives. I want to share a story with you that happened to me that allowed me to really feel that happiness is truly an inside job and how I was able to achieve that happiness from feelings of uncertainty, confusion, strong energetic and emotional feelings of just uncertainty is kind of how I'd put it, causing me to be in a spiral of anxiety, fear, kind of just being in a funk is kind of the only way I can explain it. So what happened to me is I was in constant communication with a friend for a few weeks. Their phone ultimately broke, and so we weren't able to talk anymore. And so when I had this energetic space to myself, it allowed me to introspect and ask myself the questions of, how am I feeling? Where do I stand in this friendship? Is this something that I want clarity on, and where am I able to really cultivate a sense of happiness? Because there was just so much incessant communication and stimuli between me and my friend that it's hard to sometimes separate your own thoughts from the other person's energy. Because when you are in that communication and energetic space of exchange, the energy starts to become a little convoluted. And if you aren't clear on your own energetic being and your own energetic boundaries, that can sometimes get confusing. And so when their phone broke, I was able to then be in a place of self-reflection and introspection for a few days to really understand how I was feeling, where I stood in that friendship, what kinds of feelings were coming up for me, what kinds of personal shadow circumstances were arising for me that I needed to work on as a result of some triggers. And having those few days to myself to really introspect gave me an enormous amount of clarity. And this is why happiness is an inside job, but happiness is an inside job that starts with conscious and balanced reflection and introspection. Because if you don't already fundamentally understand your own feelings, emotions, and energies, there's no way you're going to be able to understand how to make yourself happy. And so this is why reflection and introspection is so crucial to daily life, because if we don't understand what feelings incite anger or annoyance or apathy or difficulty or exuberance or joy or anger or any of these emotions that really come up in our bodies, and it can be any form of detailed emotion. There's a core group of emotions that then faction out and splinter out into any sub emotion that you feel within a core feeling of emotion. And so if we're not able to really pinpoint and put our finger on, this is how I'm feeling, this is why I'm feeling this way, then you're not able to then cultivate a space of being able to define trends for yourself to see where you actually do feel happy and what does it feel like when you feel happy. What kinds of circumstances, situations, people do you surround yourself by, books that you read, media, or other kinds of inputs or stimuli that you take in that make you then feel happy? And that's why happiness is an inside job. And happiness is really predicated on understanding the full emotional spectrum that you experience. And when you're able to reflect and do that for yourself, you're then able to understand what actually makes you happy here. And so the way I'm able to do this for myself is after my morning meditation, when I'm in a place of being really, really calm and relaxed, in a state of sort of alpha brainwave state, which is just one step below your beta level of waking state, it keeps you in this relaxed area where you're able to then start to intuitively feel things through your own self and make a lot clearer an understanding of your emotions instead of just making emotions or decisions or judgments based on extremely heady feelings that you're feeling in the moment. And it allows you to process things in a much more balanced way. So I think that what's worked for me personally is after a meditative state to sit down and reflect and write for a little bit. And this works personally best for me for like in the morning, first thing. And I've been able to find that it provides an exceptional amount of clarity, and it frees up a lot of personal headspace so that I can then go through the rest of my day in a much clearer space, and my thoughts aren't bouncing back and forth between asking me to think different things or run in different thought circles or spirals, but rather the ability to reflect and release and just create separation from the thoughts and actually start to understand them on a much deeper and granular level starts to provide you the baseline for understanding both yourself on a deep self-awareness level, second, your emotions, and third, ultimately, what makes you happy. In what circle, like once you start to do this on a regular basis, you start to then see trends in your life, either circumstances or situations that were causing you anxiety and stress and overwhelm and tension and anger and fear, or you start to see like, yeah, I was really happy for this 1 week of time while I was on vacation and I was able to just relax a little bit, and this is kind of the things I did for myself. Or even in your day-to-day life, I was able to be really happy when I got to work out a couple days a week. Whatever that really feels like for you, you're then able to cultivate that sense of internal happiness. You don't need to rely on other people to be happy, truly, because at the end of the day, happiness is an inside job that is totally predicated on you. And there's ways you can cultivate this, and it starts with self-reflection and understanding and introspecting who you are on a much more granular level.